everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood DJ Jazz Hands.
And it's your boy Rod again.
And we just got completely blown away.
Blown.
And, okay, so we were lucky enough, clearly, to, you can kind of see behind us. We were lucky enough to get to see the new Power Rangers 2017 movie. And what an underdog. What an underdog this movie was. Like, the trailer, the press, everything was making it like, I was not looking forward to this movie. I thought it was going to suck.
Hearing that, like, old Power Rangers from TV shows wasn't going to be part of it at all. Like, hearing all that, it was just like, I'm like, oh, this is going to be horrible, boy.
Mm-hmm. Seeing the design for Alpha 5 and
the Megazord toys, I'm like, oh, that's trash.
Goldar, I think when everybody saw Goldar, they kind of had a little bit of a hissy fit because
I had a huge one. I said, that toy is trash.
Yeah.
If that's the way he's going to look, that's trash.
Yeah, exactly. And so going in, I know I was very skeptical about it being good. And it blew me away.
And I'm like the biggest Power Ranger fan, so I'm like,
he is.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna bash this movie so horribly if it discredits everything about Power Rangers. I'm gonna tear this movie up in a review.
Yeah. I was expecting it to be Dragon Ball Evolution calibers of bad,
right?
For a series that we love. Well, you love. I was never a huge Power Rangers fan, but this film made me one.
We got one.
This film made me a Power Rangers fan, and it hit so many amazing moments. It had some cheesiness, but then it had amazing moments afterwards. It had a really weird flow of oh, this is good. Oh, it's kind of, this is where it could go bad. Oh, wait, no, they switched it. Now it's good again. So they kept kind of doing that, and that was it was just really, really fun. And spoiler warnings, FYI.
Plenty of spoilers.
Yeah, plenty of spoiler warnings, but with the first 5 minutes, it had that dip effect.
First 5 minutes? What was the 5 minutes?
When we figure out that Zordon was the original Red Ranger, and then we go to a guy doing something unspeakable with a cow.
No, that wasn't that. I was okay.
I was worried when I heard that.
I was like, whatever, that's cheese, but that's cheese. It's cheese. Let's keep going. That's my thinking.
Yeah, I was worried, but yeah. So, like we said, first 5 minutes we get to see that Zordon was the original Red Ranger, which, you know a lot more lore than that.
Which is huge if you're a Power Ranger fan, because it was always hinted that Zordon was the original Red Ranger. And we never got to see that or get more information until Power Rangers in Space came out. And you see Andros, the Red Ranger in space, go and save Zordon. And that information comes out that he's the original Red Ranger.
Yeah. And what were some other moments that you liked about the film? Because, I could go on and on.
Oh, I can too.
Honestly, the characters I thought were cool.
Yeah, the characters were amazing. The character, even, they were, they had so much character to them. Each one, had their own issue in life, and then the dynamic of that issue is different for everybody. So, and then the way people acted around that difference was even, this story, these characters are made for this world. Made for this world.
Yeah. And it's not as Breakfast Clubby as a lot of people thought.
No, not
because
I
know a lot of people when they saw the trailer were like, okay, so it's Breakfast Club but with Power Rangers. That's gonna be stupid. And it wasn't like that at all. It flowed very smoothly. Like I said, it had that dip and stuff, but the flow of it was still pretty smooth. And a lot of the characters that we get introduced to, first we get Jason, Billy, and Kimberly, thank you. Yeah, so we get those three, and then the other two are kind of thrown in a little bit later, but
the kind of super outcasts.
Yeah. The weird guy that doesn't go to school, and then the chick that just goes hiking and does yoga.
The transfer chick.
Yeah. And so when it first kind of started off, I felt like, well, okay, we got the main three kind of there, and then these other two were just kind of thrown in. But no, at like midway, I was like, okay, they're a team.
Yeah.
They're a team. There's they have their quirks, they have their issues, they have their funness to where every single character played off each other very, very well, and it was a lot of fun.
And it wasn't like, okay, you guys have to be a team.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just like, oh, they got to be a team automatically. No, they had to grow as a team.
Mm-hmm.
They had to have infighting.
Yeah, which is, of course, to be expected, and I assume going forward we might see a little bit more, but not as much.
Right.
Because it's the whole team dynamic that you got to get used to. You got to
know about your partner.
Yeah, exactly. You got to think what they're thinking, and they kind of do that at the end with the Megazord.
Yeah.
We just can't think about it. We just need to do it
in unison.
Yeah, in unison, and yeah, it totally blew me away. Even because I know, and you said Jason was kind of like originally he was like I guess the jock or whatever, and in this they kind of made him like a punk, like a jerk.
He was still a jock, but they made him because originally Jason was super good guy, could do no wrong, but he wasn't a natural leader. He had to grow to be a leader.
Mm-hmm.
In this, we get Jason that's super athlete, but feels a certain way about himself. He's not only is he uncomfortable as a leader, he's uncomfortable in himself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's now you got a super dysfunctional Jason.
Yeah. And do you think it could be possible that the whole, because they had in the beginning he gets cut from the team or whatever because he was in property damage or whatever. Do you think that was maybe for him he did it subconsciously? I'm afraid of success. I'm afraid of this and that because everybody expects it of me. So he does stuff to get him in trouble.
I think he just got bored.
I see. I could see that because I could see that too.
He just got bored. I think he realized that there was something more that he wanted to do than just, oh, I'm gonna go play football and be this superstar and make a ton of money.
Destiny or whatever was calling him, and he's like, I gotta answer it. I just, this isn't fulfilling me.
But he was crying out. It was a cry out.
Yeah. But I liked his kind of whole character development and his whole character arc and finding out how he becomes the leader, and I did like Kimberly's arc as well. I mean, granted, you could almost say okay, well, these are the two kind of main characters, and the others are kind of because they're the love interest.
I started to say something real quick.
They're the love interests. Why?
No.
Say it, please.
Oh, I will. Okay. So, but I had to jump all the way to the end of the movie if I did.
Okay. I mean,
if you want to do that,
we can go all over the place, I guess,
all
as
right.
long as it makes the point and as long as it's fun.
So at the very end, the credits end, and then
big reveal.
All the kids got to go back to detention.
Yeah, no Bulk and Skull, but still.
And of course, the teacher's like, "Okay, everybody sit down, get your act together. We got a new detention student." And he's calling his name out for roll call. Tommy. We see this green jacket sitting in a chair with nobody in it.
With a little white within the jacket.
With a little white inscription. It might have been a dragon.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But Tommy is the original love interest of Kimberly.
Okay.
But it caused a kind of love triangle with Jason.
See, I think that's where they're going in the sequel. They have to.
So, I don't know if they're going to go that route, but
I think I could see it.
Right now, Jason and Kimberly have a little thing, so...
Yeah, so, but I still did like Kimberly's whole kind of story arc because it wasn't... Because, like I said, I was never really a big fan of Power Rangers growing up. I know what was wrong with me. Robots that
what is wrong
stuff.
with you? What is wrong with you?
But...
And he likes Voltron.
Well, now. I hated the earlier ones.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a review for a different day, so stay tuned for that. But
Where do you get this dude from?
you found me in a circus.
Wow.
But from what I can understand, Kimberly was always kind of like she was hardcore in the old ones, but she was always like preppy and kind of like the
Not really. She was really airheadish.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This one felt a lot more grounded and down to earth, as
Yeah.
well as they threw that kind of quirk of like she's not airheadish,
I'm a
but she's
cheerleader and airheadish.
like popular. She was or is popular,
She got grounded
and
in all aspects
yeah,
of
yeah.
life.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. She did something bad, and now she's kind of like, because of that arrogance, because of that airheadedness, because of this, and so now it's like she's like, well, I'm a bad person because of it. I messed this I had to sit there and look at this person's. I shared a picture of this friend of mine, and I had to watch their dad look at their daughter doing God knows what. I can imagine, but and so she feels bad about that, and so that's kind of like it's realistic in her character to where
She's uncomfortable with herself,
mm-hmm.
and she realizes that she needs to make a change, but she doesn't know what that change necessarily is going to be.
Yeah, exactly, and that's I think that's like with all of them, and Billy too. I loved Billy stole the show a lot of the times in the movie.
How is the Blue Ranger the main guy almost? How is he like the?
Yeah, he was phenomenal, fantastic. I love
with all
Billy.
his artistic ways,
Blue.
He got the red leader here. Come on now.
But Blue still steals the show.
Come on, steal the show for this one. But the Red Ranger at the end of the day is the man.
SPD.
He's the head.
SPD.
He's the head. SPD, you got one episode.
That's coming up. We're foreshadowing.
I can go all day with this.
We're foreshadowing SPD. So get ready for it because it's going to come. But we're foreshadowing it. But no, yeah, Billy. They did actually something really interesting with Billy that because we talked about it in the car.
An amazing character.
Yeah,
an amazing character in this movie.
Yeah. I would say there was something. He even kind of explained a little bit in the movie that like he has like a social disability disorder.
Disability.
He can't really socialize with people. He has his own kind of quirks and stuff, and then they mention it. He like kind of talks about it for a bit, and then he's just boom. Okay, we accept it, and he's a character. They don't like dwell on it. They don't constantly bring it up. It's not his weakness.
Yeah. They don't make him a horrible character because of it.
Yeah, and he never. It's like with all the others, there's that baggage that they need to get over. His was never that. He was probably the purest, I would guess, in the team.
Well, yeah, he was the like even Rita said it. He's the pure Snow White.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so with him, it was just really cool. I liked that kind of decision that they decided to go with, and it made the character a lot more fun, a lot more diverse, and the fact that they didn't constantly he's this
making his crutch.
Yeah, it was never a crutch, and I love that in this movie. It was beautifully done. So Billy, yeah. Then we got Zach and Trini. Zach and Trini. I like Zach, but I really do feel that the first three that we talked about, like,
well, they were always the main ones.
Yeah. They were always the main ones. It was those three, and then the other two kind of blue for because Billy, we love you, Billy. And our stupid computer screen messed up. We're gonna keep going,
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, it is.
You got the point of the picture.
Yeah, you got the point. It's Power Rangers. We're talking about Power Rangers. The thumbnail is gonna be Power Rangers. We're Power Rangers, okay? Yeah. This is what we do.
Yeah,
either way. Yeah. Zach and Trini. I liked Zach later on. When we first meet him, he was just kind of like.
No, I liked Zach up front. I knew exactly what Zach was going to be.
But I mean, that's kind of like there was.
I knew he wasn't going to school at all.
No, of course not.
I knew that.
No, of course not. There was a little bit of predictability with him, like in his character, just a little bit.
He's the wild dog.
But it was still, yeah, it was still fun. It was still interesting to watch. And like I said, even though the other three were super strong in the beginning, him and Trini coming in really did tighten it up. And
They're
like midway through, I was like, they're a team.
they were the both wild cards that came in, which solidified the team.
Yeah, yeah, and they needed that. The kind of, I guess, yeah, the wild card and the powerhouse. You know, because Trini was the powerhouse, and I liked Trini. I don't know if you ever watched this cartoon. Trini straight up reminded me of Spinelli from Recess.
What?
If you know that, you're awesome.
What?
Spinelli from Recess.
What?
If you know that, you're awesome.
Why would that remind you of that?
Because like she just reminded me of that kind of character, this really strong, independent female character that
She wasn't that strong.
I think she was strong.
She pushed people away.
Because that's what she does. Because she's the new kid. She's always the new kid. That's what she does. That's her. That's her crutch.
Exactly.
You know.
So don't say she's like, oh, she's just strong wills and all this. No, she's Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon could not have won a battle without her friends. We know there was no loner.
What battle was Trini winning?
Stuff. The battle of friendship, and she won it.
The battle of aloneness, doing Tai Chi on top of a hill.
But I mean, that's just that's part of her character, and I still think it's strong. And the fact that she overcame it makes her even stronger.
Yes, it does.
You know,
And I give her that.
So I had no problems. And you know what I also love too? Because I don't know if you got this.
I get everything.
Did you notice that, like, it was subtle, but in almost every scene that they were in, they were wearing their colors?
Yeah, duh.
Like, it wasn't, like super obvious in the show, but, like,
Dude.
we had, like, Jason wearing, like,
Dude,
a
they
little bit, like, pinkish red, and then,
they did that in the TV show.
yeah, I know that they did that, like blatantly in the TV show, but this was a lot more subtle.
Even when Tommy would wear a white shirt, he'd still have a green button-up tied around his waist.
Yeah, but that was a show. I'm saying in this...
It's the same thing!
It is, but it isn't. It's a lot more.
That's because he's new to the game.
I'm new to the game, but I like the Zords. I've always been a fan of the Zords. Robots that can bind and fight. I'm sorry.
Yeah, especially when the Zords are done by Michael Bay. Transformer.
Yeah. No, I actually do like the boxier Zords. Like, I've seen some fan art of, like, the original Megazord. And
that Megazord was trash. And I personally got all over Facebook and all over Twitter and bashed it. When
I was talking about the original Saban first show cart.
Oh, no.
That one. I like the boxy one.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I like that one.
Was it really boxy, though?
For what it is.
No, okay.
You got the shoulder pads that are kind of boxy. You got the forearms. You got the box.
I forgot I was talking to a Transformers guy.
I know robots. But no, okay, yeah, the Zord. I'll give it that. It seemed like
the original for this movie. Mm-hmm. The original design for the Zord was stupid.
Oh, wow.
So stupid. And like I said, what I mentioned earlier, I was livid. I was all over everything. Like,
yeah,
hey,
well, I saw it too, and like the toy came out, and it literally looked like it didn't look like a guy in a suit, which I know a lot of the Megazords kind of do. This looked like a guy in chain armor with like blue, like random like stuff on him that made him look stupid.
And like a Viking hat.
Yeah, it did not fit. It did not look good. But seeing it in action, like full,
seeing it, and it's like
it was good.
I'm like, Sam, what is that? That's not what they showed us.
Yeah. That's not what they showed.
Sam, what is that?
That is awesomeness. You can see like the tiger like paws like around the legs. You can see like the Triceratops head like as the kind of like kneecaps, and like you can make out stuff, and it was really kind of really good. Like they did a really good job. And I know you're not supposed to go with the toy or go with the toy or what the toy looked like, but like
who yawns on camera?
I do. But it was still like they changed it, so it's clear that they were listening to the fans and every complaint
Listening
that
to the fans will always save you.
yeah, oh totally, exactly. Um, but yeah, for the Rangers, the character development was fantastic. Even Alpha 5, which everybody was, complaining about how he looked stupid. I dug his look
Yeah.
in the movie.
It passes.
Yeah, seeing him kind of move around and like his joints are kind of like springy and stuff, like it works on camera. It really, really does work on camera. Same with the Megazord, like you said, and even Zordon.
Yeah, I had to give him all of it. It all passed.
Yeah, oh yeah,
I
it all
mean,
passed. Even the separate Megazords. And the one thing that I will say that is against it just a little bit was I would have liked to have seen more Ranger fights. Because it seems like they fought for maybe like 2-3 minutes and then they went straight to the Zords. And not saying that the Zord parts weren't interesting. That was a lot of fun seeing the T-Rex Zord. I loved when they were fighting Goldar and the Rex jumps up and then the Tiger jumps up and they're fighting and like I'm like, this is cool. This is fun. I love that. I love Pacific Rim and stuff like that. I love like giant monster fights and stuff. Like it's my cup of tea.
See how he really just got like really animated with all that.
Yeah,
Transformers guy right here.
totally. I want to do a Dark of the Moon or last night, but
Especially with your boy Michael Bay sitting right next to you. Oh, and get
there were references.
yeah, they giving out all the Transformer shout outs in this movie.
Well, not even like that. They had like there was a part where a big spoiler, like the T-Rex like grabs a car and flips it up, and it's the Camaro. It's the Bumblebee Camaro, and he's like, "Sorry, Bumblebee." But then you also had Billy like, "Oh, we're superheroes. Am I Spider-Man or Iron Man?" So it's like reference after reference after reference, and not just with like other properties. Within their same stuff, like Alpha would always go like, "Ay ay ay," but like
They made it cool.
they did. It was
They
just like
made Alpha cool.
they did. He was really, really fun. I wanted to see kind of more of him. That's kind of like I wanted a little bit more.
He wasn't like just, oh man, I hate that robot when he come in, or oh, here comes Alpha. It wasn't that. It was like, oh shoot, Alpha is nice. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, here's Alpha. I can chill with him. He's fun. And Zordon, of course, played by Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. It's funny how he's Cranston and Billy is Cranston.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. I feel like that meant
I don't know,
something.
but the whole kind of fun thing that I love about it, and this is the whole voice acting thing that I love, is Bryan Cranston originally voiced some bad guys for Power Rangers. That was like, I don't want to say that was like his start, but he originally voiced some bad guys for Power Rangers and did some voiceover work for Power Rangers. And now that he's Zordon, it's like full circle, baby.
That's why he jumped on it.
Oh,
But,
well, yeah.
Yeah,
Plus, I feel that he jumped on it because he read the script and was like, this is not BS.
You can't say that for a fact, though.
That's true. But
he did jump on Zordon, so kudos for that.
yeah, and he was a good Zordon.
Yeah, him and Elizabeth Banks like jumped on these characters, and at first I'm like, oh shoot, it's gonna be some blowback if this movie is horrible. But they jumped on these two characters, and they are winning right now.
Yeah, and we gotta talk a little bit about Rita Repulsa. I loved her so much, more than I thought I would like the other one, the original. Because I do remember seeing the original, and I'm always like, she's fun. She's just a fun character.
Not only is she a fun character, but she was smart.
Yes.
She was ruthless.
Yes.
She was demented.
Yes. She also sometimes looked like the Huntress from Suicide Squad. There were some moments where she was like, not the Huntress, the bad guy from Suicide Squad. Everybody was talking about it, complaining about it.
Enchantress.
Enchantress. She looked like a little bit like Enchantress at sometimes.
Well, and Rita is supposed to be like a magician or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but a cool one.
yeah.
Like, the bad guy made
this
sense. And, okay, how cool was the fight scene between her and just the kids when they were at the docks?
She said, "Y'all want to bang? Let's go."
And she whooped
Trashed them. I said, "Dang!" And
boom.
killed the guy in the middle of it.
Yeah. Yeah, she landed, killed that, because he's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead. That was like, it was like, okay, he's dead. And even though they got superpowers, she's boom, 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 And I like that they actually went into where she was, okay, no spoilers. She was the original Green Ranger. Zordon was the original Red Ranger. They had, it looked like other alien species.
Yeah, they were all different alien species.
As the Rangers, and so that was interesting. I loved hearing like the kind of backstory, and I'm glad that the Zords, they were like, oh, the most powerful creatures at the time when the Zords scanned them. So you're getting into that Transformers stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Beast Wars,
another Transformers reference.
It's all like 90s, 80s.
Michael Bay.
It's all 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Transformers was a series before the movies,
but in a span, it seemed like she had all these abilities to be like the best evil character.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so quick. It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna gradually be evil. She was like, no, I got all this evilness and intelligence and dementedness. Let's get it.
Yeah, like
Let's get it.
There was a moment where I think, because she summoned Goldar by getting a whole bunch of gold, which a lot of people were complaining about, but they tied the lore in with Goldar enough, and that's not saying that, because it looked like he was kind of like an empty hollow shell.
Right.
So that could mean in the sequel, because we're clearly going to be getting one now, because it was so good.
Yeah.
It's clear that they could still make the Goldar that everybody knows and loves.
Yeah.
The kind of like weird werewolf monkey in gold thing. Right. But there was a moment where like Goldar is like beaten, like I think he punches the T-Rex Zord, and Rita just starts laughing, and it's like so good. Like I started laughing. I'm like, she's like having fun.
Yeah.
She was having fun with that. So kudos to the actress. It was.
Where are the Krispy Kremes?
Yeah. And then, like I said, there was some cheesiness. Like she finds the Krispy Kreme
and eats chills. She's like, her Goldar's out there like tearing up stuff.
Yeah.
And the little rock thing she created, they like tearing up stuff. She's like, yeah, let me get these donuts.
Yeah, it seems like because from just watching the original, because I don't know, it seemed like they played a lot more on the sassiness of Rita versus like the maniacal that she originally was. They like played with the sassiness more in this one, which I liked.
Well, see, when she had the sassiness, she wasn't like sassy with the Power Rangers necessarily. She was like way back at the crib being sassy and looking down like, oh, okay,
She's just talking. Yeah. She's just talking smack.
I'm talking my smack way up here.
Yeah, this was she'd say it to their face.
Yeah, she was like saying it to their face, like.
Yeah, she was such a fun.
Like really.
She was such a fun villain, and I really, really hope that we get to see her again. And one other thing too, because I gotta talk about it. I think we have to talk about it.
What?
In the beginning, I know we're skipping around a lot, but in the beginning, when
let me just
Jason just smacks that guy.
Let me just say this: the pacing and the cuts of this movie, the editing of this movie is so great.
Yes. Like
it just went. It just went. There was no like slow drags. Mm-hmm. If they had like a quiet moment of dialogue, it was like
interesting.
It was not only interesting, but it had like it still had action to it.
Yeah.
To where I was still like, okay, what are they talking about? Where are they going with this?
Yeah, exactly. They had just hanging on every word.
When they was just talking. I'm like,
how are we going to beat this bad guy? It was like,
yeah.
Everything kind of fell into place.
It's like, let's talk and move at the same time.
Yeah.
In every scene.
Yeah. Or just even acting with, our eyes or the scenery that they would be having these kind of conversations. Like, I don't know where they filmed, but the place that they got, Angel Grove, was beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of fun scenery you could do with it, where you have like, okay, you got like the docks, you got, you know, the center square, you got like
Bay.
the mountains. Yeah, that's where we're getting to. Like I said,
Okay.
we folded, we were
Okay.
talking about it, and I think we got to get there now.
Okay, go
We
ahead.
got to get there with this property, with this series.
Did you want to talk about smacking the dude first?
Okay, yeah. Once when Jason smacked the dude, I knew it was going to be good. Because I didn't know. I was expecting like a punch or anything.
Yeah.
I was shocked. There was a lot of shocking moments that I didn't know that they were going to pull off.
The
train?
The train.
Yeah, you think that like okay, back to the smack, and then we'll get that. Like, it came out of nowhere. I thought they were going to punch or something. He just smacks the kid. Like, the kid's like, did you just smack me? And it's like, yeah, no, weird, right? It's perfect.
But for me, it wasn't even the fact that he smacked him. It was the fact that he still smacked him really hard.
Yeah, this wasn't like this was like a full.
Like he tried to slap his soul out of his body.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure his grandma felt it. You know, that's how hard he smacked him, and. Oh man, that was just a beautiful, beautiful scene. And then that comes back later.
Yeah.
Which, that was fun. And Billy, of course, totally mentioned it, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was, like, the moment with the train. And this is where I say, like, that the movie, like you said, pacing-wise, was fantastic. Because, like, you would think it was going to go one way, and then they would switch it.
And it's so quick.
Yeah, and it's still interesting. Like, you think that they're running from these quarry security guards or whatever, and they're about to cross. It's a classic, you know. Oh, we gotta outrun the train. We gotta outrun the train. We gotta outrun the train. You think they're gonna do it? Boom! They get hit.
I actually yelled out the movie. I was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, I looked over because I was like, "Oh!" And I looked over at him, and he's like,
"I'm like, oh!"
It's the most animated I've ever seen him in a movie. I swear.
I almost jumped out the chair. I was like, "Oh wow!"
With like every movie we binge, every movie review, I'm always look over. He's either like falling asleep, or he's like, "Oh man, that was good." This is the first time I've ever seen him like, "Oh!"
I had like no expectations of that happening.
Yeah.
It like literally blew my mind.
Yeah, so it's definitely very like unpredictable with a lot of things. It's a lot of fun visually. It's beautiful. I think the ship looks cool. I like how they have like that weird underwater over water thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Like, next dimension water.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, but
I like that how they show how the ship was like instead of on the TV show
in the desert.
Zordon had this
palace,
command center palace out in the desert that anybody could, if they stayed out there long enough, could walk up in there and knock on the door.
Yeah.
Hey Zordon, you in there?
Zordon, you in? Gotta pay your taxes.
Instead, this was like
getting mail
deep under the ground with a barrier dimension.
Yeah, yeah.
That was cool. Yeah, and like natural.
Yeah, it was natural, and then like it also made sense with why it would be so close to Angel Grove, and it wasn't like. And what I liked about it too was like in the original, because I remember it's like Zordon was like, "Hey, we need teenagers with attitude to do this." With this, it's like there's a part where Zordon himself is like, "You guys don't have what it takes.
Yeah.
I messed up with this. You guys need to you're horrible.
Y'all trash.
This planet's doomed. Life is doomed." Like he was second guessing it, and it was perfect. Like I loved it.
He was like, I need to come back. I just need to come back. Hey, Alpha, find a way for me to come back.
Yeah.
Because this ain't going to happen. It's not working out.
Yeah, but definitely, I liked that. Everything with this movie was fantastic, and what we were kind of talking about earlier before we got, not off track, but the properties. With this property, essentially, with this, I think it would work a lot better than some other stuff's trying to do. They could theoretically have a cinematic universe, and it would work beautifully. They could do what Marvel's doing. They could do what DC's trying to do, and they could work with this and actually make it really cool. They could have you could have your Power Rangers. Then you could have your Power Rangers SPD. Because what was the reference in that? Because we said we'd come back to it.
Not an SPD reference. Lightspeed Rescue reference.
Lightspeed Rescue. Okay.
You know, they bring up Mariner Bay, which was the central location for Lightspeed Rescue's base.
Yeah. So theoretically, that could be either something in the future or whatever. They could do that. They could have Power Rangers in space or Power Rangers in time. Rangers.
You know, at the end, Rita is thrown into space.
Yeah, with the moon behind.
With the big moon behind her, and that brings reference of Power Rangers in space. You know, it's a lot in this movie. If you know Power Rangers, you're like, okay.
Yeah. The Power Rangers theme came up when they were charging in the battle.
Oh my goodness, when they came out. Oh my goodness!
It's like go Power Rangers.
Yes, like, and they didn't change it or try to jazz it up and make it some other stuff.
No,
it was the yes.
Yeah, the guitar solo.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Like, even when I wasn't a fan, I would always be like, the Power Rangers had the best soundtrack. The best soundtrack. But yeah, the properties they could possibly do with this, they could make a cinematic universe. They could legit have what everybody. I think every season when there's a new Power Rangers, everybody loves to see the old Rangers come back in for an episode or two, and so they could theoretically have like Power Rangers this, Power Rangers that, Power Rangers, and have these properties combined once in a while, these cinematic universes. And even though it's like, okay, well, here's the Red Ranger, the different stories they could tell in the cinematic universe that they could build would be fantastic. They could do it, and I think if they keep to this kind of formula and they work with it and definitely listen to the fans, it's going to probably be like Marvel and then this.
And one of the gripes that people had before this came out was, oh, they're super strong and they can jump far and all this. They kind of got like superpowers.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, me knowing everything, I'm like, well, in some of the other seasons, the Power Rangers obtain powers just from having their crystals or coin or morpher.
Like Wild Force, I think they got like animal powers. And
yeah, they had like animal
Mystic
powers.
Force, they were like legit wizards and stuff.
You know, and you had
Ninja
the original one where they got powers. It was Dino Thunder.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, Dino Thunder, where they had abilities that were particular.
Wasn't that the one where the actor who played Tommy
Jason David Frank came back as the Black Ranger?
Yeah. Of course, he was in this movie.
And he had like the invisibility and other stuff. And and he makes a cameo.
Yeah, of course he makes a cameo.
After it was like tons of him not talking about he was not going to be in it. Makes that cameo.
Yeah, he makes that, of course. And I loved in the theater, once when everybody saw him.
Clapping.
Clapped.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, there we go. Because I was waiting.
Had the original Pink Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson in there. I'm like, yeah.
Was she the one? Because I don't remember.
Original Pink. Original.
Yeah, but was she standing next to him?
Yes, she was standing next to him.
Okay, so there you go. Now what they need to do, because they already mentioned Tommy, get those two to play the parents.
They're going to be the parents of Tommy.
But don't tell me that wouldn't be fun.
We finally get to see they have a love child.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to get at.
Yeah, it would be like a nice little cameo.
And they were kind of like super close, so I don't know. It could
look. I'm not like it would just be like kind of fun. Like they wouldn't be like super in depth. It'd be like one or two lines.
I'm like,
yeah. It was a good movie. Blew me away.
I mean,
I kind of want to see it again.
You could almost have like a Power Rangers Transformers crossover at some point.
Possibly.
I think
it's different studios, but maybe.
Doesn't matter. That's how crazy this universe could go. I'm so I'm be trying to get everything about what's next for this movie.
Yeah.
Like I'm jumping on everything.
Yeah.
Because they could go in so many different ways.
Yeah, and it kills me
and it would work.
It kills me that we gotta wait X amount of time for a sequel.
They need to start today.
Yeah, I want to see this by this time next year. I want to see Power Rangers.
They need to be like Marvel and we've already started on the next one.
Yeah. Because it was Infinity Wars is already started filming.
Yeah, they already started.
Yeah, they're already started, and Guardians of the Galaxy 2 isn't even out yet. And Michael Rooker and
Black Panthers, we're already filming.
Yeah, we're already filming. And Black Panther's going to be in Infinity Wars. It's like boom, boom, you know. It's crazy. So, yeah, they need to jump on this or do what they're doing with like Star Wars or something, where it's like, okay, we got this Power Rangers. Now let's actually do the cinematic universe and have this Power Ranger. So at least we get like maybe 2 Power Ranger movies a year.
I wouldn't mind it.
Nope.
I wouldn't mind it.
Nope. If it was like this, I think I'd be okay with it. So anything else? Anything else you want to say?
So great. It's just so great.
Yeah.
Man, I just love all the Power Ranger references and everything.
Oh
like,
my god, yeah.
Everything was like super legit. Even the T-Rex, like he had these guns. You know, T-Rex got like short little arms.
Yeah.
And the guns were like short little arms almost. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
yeah, and the pterodactyl didn't look like just like a chest.
Right. The pterodactyl didn't look like. Well, they made it wings / swords.
Like a backpack. Yeah.
And I was cool with that because actually in the second season of Mighty Morphin, when they get the ninja Zords, the pterodactyl is a
sword.
No.
Backpack. I've never seen it.
The pterodactyl. I forget what happened to it. Did it burn up?
Could that have been a reference to when Goldar lit it on fire? And she's like, it's too hot, I'm burning up.
Yeah, it could have been.
Like that's to come, but I think next we're definitely gonna be getting like the Dragon Megazord, and what I want to see, Lord Zed coming back.
Potential. There's potential for it.
And because you got to get like Lord Zed, and then you got to get like Goldar, like either normal or like I said, the dragon. I could see like the first part being like dragon stopping, and then the last fight would be against Zordon, not Zordon. It's late.
Goldar.
Lord Zed.
No.
He wouldn't die, but they would kick his butt.
You ain't gonna see no Lord Zed fighting big time.
I think
I've never seen Lord Zed fight anybody.
But that's why they would do it.
He just shoots you and then dip off.
But that's why I think they would do it because I never thought that Rita would be fighting like how she did.
Okay.
And she kicked butt.
That's true.
I think it's one of those things where they're given what
I don't want to see that.
They're given what fans
Lord Zed
want. Yeah, Lord Zed.
Because Lord Zed had a staff too, but his was like, I can shoot these electrical beams out of it.
He'd be like, I
fry you.
I just imagine he'd be like Broly from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah,
like
he was
a
buff.
big powerhouse, just run through, punching him through buildings, using his staff like before he even goes big. You know. So
dude used to like, even though he didn't fight, he used to like throw the staff around and stuff and switch hands with it and twirl it. I'm like, come on, dude, that's a fighting style right there. I'm seeing it.
Yeah, exactly. So big stuff to come. But I mean, besides, it's amazing.
So
I don't really have anything else to say.
So great.
Yeah.
I need to own this on Blu-ray right now.
Yeah. No,
like
this
right
is like
now.
I never thought, and I even made a Facebook post.
I don't even own the other Power Ranger movies. I need to own this one on Blu-ray right now.
I made a post when we got out of it, and I was just like, I never thought I'd be blown away by this new Power Rangers. Never thought in a million years that this Power Ranger movie would blow me away. Keep it up. This was what I think a lot of fans wanted. I think this is what a lot of people that are like, oh, Power Rangers. My friend was a big fan. I'm going to be dragged to it. Now they're fans. I know I am. Kind of makes me want to collect some of the Megazords, use them, see how that works. But that's a whole other segment.
Oh my goodness, good movie,
fantastic movie. But either way, everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. It's been a blast.
Do we want to thank anybody?
Thank you, Saban. And thank you, Lionsgate.
You gonna thank Saban and Lionsgate
for making this movie?
Oh my goodness! you gotta give your boy a shout out for real.
Thank you, ETW.
No, I ain't talking about.
Thank
ETW.
you, Raz. Me.
No, your boy.
Oh, Robert.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay had nothing to do with this.
Yes, he did.
What?
He designed the Zords, dude.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No.
Yeah.
We'll look it up.
Why do you think they look like Optimus Prime?
Because that's like the style that they're trying to go with.
He designed them, dude.
We'll be debating this.
It's not no debate.
We'll do an update to tell you, but either way.
This dude.
Either way.
This guy.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Rods Media Inc.
Thank you, Rods Media Inc. We love you. We love you. But either way. We'll see you guys on the flip side.
I forgot. Always ETW.
Yep. ETW. Thank you, ETW. So,
ETW.
either way, yeah. We'll see you guys later.
All right, Billy.
Bye. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers.